Let's see. Good morning. Let's see what Rax has to say about the ascendancies.
Hi everyone, it's Rax. It's been a very long day. Path of Exile 2 Grinding Gear Games released all of the ascendancies for the game ahead of the early access, so you could kind of have a vague idea of what you might want to do when it comes out on Friday. So I have been spending the entire day watching review after review and content and studying and talking with the thousands of people in chat. Thank you for being there, by the way, about what you could select for your build tomorrow. There is no way all of this is going to be right. A lot of it could be wrong, but I did spend a ton of time trying to take in a bunch of different things so I can hopefully give you a vague idea on what you might want to start on Friday. So that's what we're going to cover in this video. I'm going to explain everything. And one thing that I would like to point out to you that I've noticed that's a little bit different from me and other content creators is some of the content creators are really planning for the end game. They're showing builds that are going to be godly in the end game when you have 20,000 armor and 6,000 mana, da 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 da. This video is going to be 100% focused on what I think could potentially be very strong to get through the campaign. Because if you're getting destroyed right away at the beginning of the game,
Yeah, because we don't know exactly how the game's gonna play, right? The items, everything. We don't know. It's all speculation.
you're not going to have any fun. So I'm going to try to pick nodes that I think might be really good right at the beginning and take like important stuff for the end game much later, or actually in some cases just tell you to respec. One thing I got to say, red hoodie, it's because for my subathon, I promised I would wear holiday hoodies the whole time. All I want for Christmas is XP. That's why we're wearing this hoodie. So, and one thing I want to say before I start, there was a really awesome video by Connor Converse. I discovered his content today. If you'd like to watch it, all Path of Exile 2 Ascendancies reviews. Seems like a really smart guy. Seems like a chill dude. This is a good video if you want to watch another one after mine. So anyway, all right, let's get started. That was a huge introduction. In the sheet, I always update everything that I know about the game. This will get bigger and bigger as we go. That's what she said. So a basic thing to understand about Path of Exile 2 on Friday. When you start, you're going to pick one of 6 classes. When you pick this, you can't change it unless you're going to make another character. So you kind of want to choose wisely.
Obviously.
Then, as you play the game, if you pick Mercenary, you are going to ascend into one of 2 choices. You will either become a Gemling Legionnaire or you will become a Witch Hunter. You cannot change this either. Currently, Grinding Gear Games is considering the option to let you change it one day, but for right now, we can't change it. So you got to choose wisely. This video is helping you decide which of
Cannot respec? Oh, you cannot respec your ascendancy.
these 12 ascendancies to pick. Now, you're going to have a million choices. This is the one you should take first, and then second, and then third, and then fourth. And I'll explain why. But these can be respec'd. So once you get past these 2 choices, whatever, you can just try whatever. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to go through all 12, and I'm going to explain why I think some of them might be really good for you about what you might want to do. Okay? So let's just get started here. Let's start with the Sorceress. You're going to either be a Stormweaver or a Chronomancer, and I don't think this is close at all. I think for a new player, the Stormweaver is way, way better. Now, because this is for new players, I'm not going to dive into a bunch of mechanics. Like, from studying this game for an entire week, I'm starting to learn what the mechanics are, but there's so many to learn, and Grinding Gear Games might change them all. I'm going to try to explain it to you in very simple terms, okay? So the basic thing for the
Please do.
Stormweaver, from everything that I've researched and studied today, is everything here is pretty damn good.
We're tiny brains.
But it is my experience a lot of times in Path of Exile, when you get to an ascendancy, And I guess let me explain one thing for people that don't know this. In Act,
This stuff is so dependent on like the build you're going. So like the skill gems you're picking and everything. That all has to tie together. So just looking at an ascendancy tree, it can help you plan, but it's not the best.
2, I believe, you're going to get your first trial that you have to complete. When you beat that trial, you get the chance to ascend. You will pick one of the 2 choices listed in this spreadsheet. And then you're going to have to do 4 of them for a total of 8 points, right? And then, so how you path through here matters. And you can see you can only go certain ways. Like, let's say you want to take number 7, you would have to path through 6 first. So
Path
there's an
lives matter.
opportunity cost here. So you're going to see some of the choices that I make require you to take a certain path. Every time that you complete one of these trials, you'll get 2 points for a total of 8. So you might path to 8 on the first one and to 9 on the second one, and then to 6 and then to 7, for example. I just want to explain that. Again, I'm assuming that you're new. Okay, anyway, Stormweaver. A lot of this seems very, very strong. Exposure you inflict and lowers your resistances by additional 20%. The question is, can resistances go below 0 with this? But you make the monsters take more damage. So in PoE2, when they give you a new skill from your ascendancy, it's a skill gem in your menu, and you can put support gems on it and make it even stronger. It is my experience in Path of Exile that a lot of these times, these skills that they give you are actually pretty strong. So if they are pretty strong, it might be really nice to take in the campaign. And that's exactly what I'm banking on. I'm banking on this is going to be a good skill worth taking early on, and I'm going to go for it. I'm thinking about starting Stormweaver. I'll make a video tomorrow potentially about what I actually will start, but I'm thinking about starting with this Elemental Storm and the cooldown recovery rate, because it's going to put these whirlpools under the monsters. And with the cooldown recovery, I think the base cooldown is 5 seconds. So essentially, every time that you crit with any spell, you're going to put this whirlpool under the monsters or under the bosses. I think it might be really strong. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the Elemental Storm and buff the Elemental Storm. And then later on, as you get further into the game, Arcane Surge, which is 10% cast speed, 20% more mana, cast faster, more mana. And then this Force of Will, 1% increased effect of Arcane Surge for all of your maximum mana. You just stack mana. You buff your Arcane Surge, and then there is a beautiful gem, one of my favorites ever in PoE1 that's returning, called Archmage as a buff, which gives you 5% of your damage of lightning damage for each 100 maximum mana that you have. Stack mana to infinity, buff Arcane Surge, spawn the whirlpools, destroy everything. This advice is going to be amazing if the whirlpools are good. It's going to be terrible if the whirlpools are bad. Whatever. So we take the whirlpools. Where's Sorceress? We take the whirlpools, and then we take the thing that buffs Arcane Surge. Seems like an awesome option for new players that want to cast spells. I think it looks so cool, and I'm very excited to play Stormweaver. I'm going to play everything. I'm going to play all 12. All right. Chronomancer. Chronomancer is going to be real simple. It's about manipulating time. It's about manipulating cooldowns. You look at these top 2 things, these seem like some of the strongest options. Sometimes your skills don't consume a cooldown, and then you get the time snap, which resets your cooldowns. All of this sounds really good, but I believe Chronomancers are going to require you to have a really good idea in place. You need a skill gem with a really long cooldown that you can't solve, that you're going to use your ascendancy to solve in order to get a big output. When you're starting on day 1 and none of us really know anything, I don't have like a really good plan for anything. I don't really know how I would use this. You're going to have to like stumble upon something and get lucky. So I feel like this ascendancy later might be incredible, but I feel like we need more knowledge to take advantage of the things that it's doing very well. The damage recouped is life, and the recoup occurs over a shorter duration is a nice way to stay alive. The game's going to be challenging, but I couldn't possibly recommend this for a new player in any way. So unless you have a really good plan, I didn't even fill anything out. I think you need to know more before going Chronomancer. So if you want to start Sorceress, I think Stormweaver is a way, way better option. Let's go to Warrior. Now, the Titan is super, super, super strong, and so many things here look absolutely incredible. Now, it's pretty much universally agreed upon from everyone in the community that Hulking Form is one of, if not the greatest, ascendancy node in the entire
50% increase effect of small passive. That's pretty good.
Entire game. So when you're moving around the giant passive tree, there's these little passive nodes like, I don't know, 10% damage with maces, and now it's 15 because you get 15 or 50% more. At
Mm.
the end of the game, having this node after you pick so many small passives is going to give you so many buffs that it's going to be crazy. So
So with this, you want to actually spread out a lot.
there's pretty much no way as a Titan we can skip this. In order to take this, we must take Colossal Capacity. So we have to go to 4 in order to path to 5. 4 is you get 20 more inventory slots, which is kind of a bummer because it's like quality of life. Your Ascendancy is supposed to be like damage or like something for your archetype that's like game changing. It is awesome. Everybody wants more inventory space,
Well,
but
it's a big guy. It can carry more. It makes sense.
this is not exactly what we were looking for. But it's probably they probably did this on purpose because this node is so strong. You have to pay the penalty to get this, and we will pay that penalty. From here, the Titan has a lot of good options again. So the aftershocks here are bursts of area damage that occur after the initial impact. This is a super good option. There are ways with there seem to be other ways with other like gems or war cries or auras to get things like aftershock or improve your stuns. So you can either go all in on one way or all in on another, whether it's with the passive tree and your skills or and also with the ascendancy at the same time. Also, they have pretty decent survivability nodes, 50% more armor from your body armor or 15% more life, which is very rare to find in Path of Exile. I also really, really like these nodes too. The Titan is just, it seems pretty juiced everywhere. Your hits are crushing blows. They cause a heavy stun on enemies that are ready for a stun. And then you get 40% more damage against those heavily stunned enemies. So as long as you take hulking form somewhere, this is going to be a very good path. I have a feeling people's trees early game are going to be very inefficient. So I think hulking form is the thing that you should take last. So you have a choice. You could take the shockwaves, the aftershocks, and maybe one of the survivability nodes like 15% life. That's a great
Yeah, it's
choice.
gonna ramp up
This
later.
every second Sam skill is ancestrally boosted, which is every second skill 20% more damage. That's like 10% more damage. That's not very good. So we don't like number 3. Could take 2 and a survivability node, or you could just go all in with stuns. And the reason why I like stuns for new players is because the monsters can't hit you. It might actually keep you alive better than the other thing. It's up to you. But as a new player, I would recommend going for the stuns. So both stuns, and then we go pick up the hulking form and be looking for those juicy passive nodes. The Titan will be a godly ascendancy. I don't think there's any chance that it will be weak at all. So now we have the Warbringer. And initially, before I started looking at what was released, I thought Warbringer was going to essentially just be Totem Boy, but it doesn't seem to be completely based upon that. So if you go down here, this is a very interesting thing. Corpses in your presence, and I've heard your presence is 8 meters, and 8 meters is almost the entire screen.
All right, Rax, tell us.
That's what I think I know, could be completely wrong. Presence is 8 meters, means almost the whole screen. They explode when you Warcry, doing 25% of life. So if we can Warcry after we kill enemies, they're just going to detonate everywhere. And then here we can ignore our Warcry cooldowns and then try to find a way to automate our Warcries. So you run around killing, Warcrying, and blowing up the whole map. This combination should be incredible for like mapping. Like Warbringer might be one of the best mappers in the entire game when everything gets figured out. This break armor equal to 10% of damage dealt, and you can break enemy armor to below 0. Armor reduces physical damage taken, and then when you make theirs go below 0, they take even more. There's a mathematical error in this formula, which I'm sorry, I can't remember the YouTuber. I'll have to pin it or something or put it in the comments. That has a brilliant video showing how one of the mathematical functions is asymptotic, and then it actually goes to like 5 trillion damage, then it flips to negative 5 million damage or whatever. Grinding Gear games will fix it. In general, breaking armor seems pretty good. This Jade thing, I don't know. This might be good for like, I don't know, maybe for pinnacle bosses. These ancestral spirits and the 20% of damage taken from you goes to totems. This is kind of cool, and maybe this is good, but it's just hard to tell from just reading this. And honestly, I expected like more totem things out of this. So this part might be really good for bosses. This part might be really good for clearing, but are we really going to need this in the campaign? And all we really get is this, and this is all we get from totems? I think when you go warrior, I think Titan is just better, where you go the stuns or the shockwaves, and then you finally get hulking form. But either way, the way that I would recommend that you go is for the armor break. That's the only thing that's going to help you on bosses, which is probably going to stop you fastest. And then come down here and take the Warcaller's Bellow and the Great Howl for the clear. You can take them in whatever order you want, but this one's going to help you on bosses, which I assume is going to be the hard part. I think Titan is better for now for a new player, would be my assessment. All right, what's next? The Ranger. So a lot of people in POE1 are kind of complaining about the Ranger with Deadeye, and they're saying that the Ranger and the Deadeye and the Pathfinder are like essentially what was already in POE1, and that's very boring. Well, I can tell you, as someone who is not a super POE veteran, and maybe a lot of you feel that way, maybe a lot of you haven't played that much, or maybe you're brand new, I made a Deadeye one time, and it was my strongest character I ever made in Path of Exile 1. He absolutely destroyed everything. With a lot of these nodes that I see, like projectile, point blank, far shot, endless munitions, a lot of these similar things. I had like a 5. Remember all the videos that I made? Like, oh, I found 2 mage bloods, da 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 da. I found this, I found that. All of that was on a Deadeye. So all of the hate that people are getting that Deadeye is back on Ranger, dude, I don't feel that hate at all. I love this character, and if you are new and you like both things, I think Ranger is probably the best option in the game.
Like the
Now,
bare head and the
there's something to understand
shoulder.
here. So your accuracy when you hit a monster is
Fucking
based upon the
cool.
distance away from the monster. The further away you are, the lower your accuracy. So accuracy is very important for ranged and not so important for melee. I mean, we'll have to see how it all pans out. That's the general idea. So you might think, oh, well, that's a no-brainer, right? You take this no accuracy penalty at distance, and then you stay far away. Guys, I don't think monsters in Path of Exile 2 are just going to let you stay far away and destroy them. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think they're going to let. I don't think they're going to let that
Hey, thanks for the follow.
happen. So actually, I think the way to do it is not to do this.
I think I need to change the font so I can just follow it. Sorry about that.
If you're going for a ranger, you're going for a glutton for punishment. You're going to take some deaths. But I actually think it's better to take point blank first to do damage right in front of you in order to get to the fires and additional projectile. Now, something to understand. Fires an additional projectile is very good for a skill that fires 1 projectile. But if you have a skill like Rain of Arrows, which everyone is raving about, that potentially fires 54 arrows, adding 1 arrow to 54 arrows, if that's how it works.
Wouldn't it do an additional rain of arrows? No, it's 1 projectile. So yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's terrible, right? But for the early game, when you have like single shot skills or a skill that throws 3 grenades or something, this is incredible, just adding another projectile. And then I heard from people that the marks aren't so good. The Tailwind, which is a stacking buff, which gives you movement speed, skill speed, and evasion, and it builds up, but when you get hit, you lose it. And then you can also just straight up have it give you less damage taken. It's very powerful, but you have to not get hit. And we're going to be close, so we are going to...
That's the movement speed thing, right? Tailwind is a stacking buff which grants 1% increased movement speed, 3% increased skill speed. That's like attack speed. What is the difference between skill and attack? And 15% increase, I guess it's like animation? I'm not sure, we'll have to see. Increase evasion rating per stack for 10 seconds. Refreshing whenever you gain another stack. Maximum 10 stacks. So you get, what, like up to 30% increased skill speed. 10% increased movement speed.
We're going to get hit. But if I tell you not to take this, you might just get endlessly shit on and never be able to survive anything. And this is absolutely a consideration unless you just want to go full damage and just go for these.
But there might be other things that help you not get hit, right? other like skills and stuff, so you can be quite agile, I'm sure.
Frenzy charges, and the frenzy charges will be super, super strong for Rain of Arrows. So I think for a new player, the best option is to go point blank into endless munitions to take a skill that just gives you a second projectile that's really strong. Then you take Tailwind and Tailwind, and then you respec point blank and endless munitions for the frenzy charges, and then go Rain of Arrows. Something like that seems very, very strong. And I think this is an excellent choice. Point blank, do more damage when you're close, get the extra projectile, pick up the Tailwind, and then respec these.
Halsiger, thanks for the follow. Sorry, I got a bit of a weird look with the font and everything. Thanks for the follow.
For the frenzy charges, and when you go Rain of Arrows, I think Deadeye is probably going to be one of the best options, to be honest. Now, Pathfinder, I've been speedrunning POE1, trying to get better. I've lowered my campaign time down to a 347, and
that's weird, like little cluster here. I mean, why don't they spread it out a bit? Is it like they want to preserve the art so much? Kind of weird.
by the way, my brother has been asking me if you guys would like me to upload my 347 clear, fresh start, by the way, no twink items, completely fresh start, of POE1. If you'd like to see that run, we can upload it. If you don't give a shit, won't upload it. Anyway, I was playing Pathfinder. It's the reason why I'm bringing this up. So the thing about Pathfinder is, again, you want to think about why would you choose this? And I think the reason that you would choose this is if you wanted to play Poison Concoction, which I call Peacock, which is what I have been speedrunning. And Peacock is
It's like traps and stuff.
very strong for just destroying POE1. The reason why Poison is very interesting in Path of Exile is Poison does chaos damage. And sometimes there are monsters that have really good defenses against like melee hits or physical hits, or they have very good defense against elemental damage. But poisons are chaos damage. Sometimes that enables a lot of very, very tricky things that are super powerful. The problem is reading through this, I couldn't possibly tell you how good Poison Concoction will be. I just don't know. So if you want to try Poison Concoction, which I will, I guess you take Contagious Contamination into Poison Concoction and then something to do with buffing poisons. But in PoE1, Poison Concoction was the strength was based upon your life flasks. Now it's based upon your mana flasks, and you only have one of them. So certainly these mechanics are going to change, and it's too hard to tell how it's going to work from just reading this. But I think you would choose this. If you were to choose this, I would just probably go with Poison Concoction and buff poisons and chaos damage. But is that going to be more reliable than the trusty Deadeye? Probably not, unless you really know what you're doing. As a new player, it's going to be hard to make the Pathfinder better than the Deadeye. Okay, the Witch, the Blood Mage. This is probably the one that
I
would
want to
say
play.
content creators and myself in chat did not really like agree on the Witch, on which one looked better. So this thing is all about manipulating blood stuff. And the thing is spell damage leached as life is one of the, like, this might be the only source of it in the entire game, or it's very, very rare that you can leech spell damage as life. So this already seems to have big value. In order to pick this up, you have to pick up the life remnants. Curses have infinite duration seems it does not seem strong to me. I am not a person that likes to reapply curses over and over and over. I hate that gameplay. I think it's stupid. But still, would I rather just reapply the curse when I need to versus gaining an entire ascendancy path? I don't think this is worth it. Another thing is there might be some ways to just automate your curses in the game at a cost, but I'd rather pay that cost outside of my ascendancy than here. Not sure how good this is. This could be really strong in some builds. I don't. You'd have to theory craft it. I'm sure someone will come up with a great use for this. I can't think of it with this little of information, never having played the game. This is very strong, and it was recently nerfed. So the 1% crit damage per 40 life will be strong if you can get your crit high enough. They said it will be possible for some builds to reach 100% crit chance or something close to it, but it's going to be way harder than in PoE1. And they nerfed the life threshold for how you get the damage. So early game, when you don't have very good crit, this isn't going to be very good. The base crit chance for spells is 15%. I learned.
But do you get ascendancy points early game? No, you should get them later, right?
Today, from watching different content, that not all spells have the same base critical chance. I think the one that has one of the lowest is fire spells. So if you're going fire, then this node actually might be a big crit chance buff for you. Then this is essentially Progenesis. Progenesis was a flask in PoE1, which was extremely powerful and sought after. So instead of you taking the full damage, some of the damage applies to you over 4 seconds. That makes it way easier to stay alive. And then gain energy shield from body armor as extra life. Well, this could be really strong if you just have a basic idea of how you're gearing yourself. In the end game, you take a body armor that has full energy shield, and then you roll the mods on it to just buff the energy shield on that body armor, and then you just get that much life. It should be a huge defensive buff. So there are some cool things
And a lot of the stuff about this is about extra life. So it's gonna be super strong.
going on here. We have the spell leech. This might be good in some situation. They have progenesis. So I think the blood mage actually looks really good. So we're definitely going to take the spell damage, leech this life. Then we're going to take grasping wounds and gore spike. So the grasping is the progenesis, and the gore spike we take last because hopefully you have really good crit by the end of the game. If you're going a fire build, maybe this is useful earlier, and maybe you take it. But I think the blood mage actually looks pretty good. I would say out of all the classes, the hardest one for me to wrap my head around is probably the Infernalist, and it might be a hell of
Looks so cool though. Man, which one to play?
a lot better than what I can see how it's going to be really good. It's just very hard for me to communicate, like to think about all the mechanics here. So first of all, the first one's really easy. 20% of your cold as fire, and then lightning as fire, and then physical as chaos. Well, we're just going to go around and we're just going to stack the shit out of fire resist. And there are specific nodes on the tree that can get you to like very, very high maximum fire resist. So converting a lot of our damage to fire is going to keep us alive. And remember, PoE is a hard game. So there are a couple of ways that you could build the Infernalist. You could reserve all these things and play like a low life build, and that doesn't mean you're a loser. It just means that you're literally low on life and certain mechanics work. You
It's the loser build now. Thanks, Rax.
could just take this one and buff up your maximum spirit, and spirit is the way that you generate minions. So this could be a minion build, and you may take the loyal hellhound with that, which is what I originally thought I would recommend on Infernalist, and maybe that's the way to go. Then there's demon form, and demon form gives you like, I think Connor said it was +4 to skill ranks and 160% cast speed, but then you start to take a lot of increased damage, and it's hard to mitigate. Originally thought it was fire damage, but now it's like all damage or something. So this could be really, really good, but it might be really, really hard for a new player to play as. And then we have all of these things that are just about doing fire damage and a chance to ignite in the magnitude, and we get rid of mana. Now we have Infernal Flame. And then as we build up Infernal Flame, if it gets all the way to maximum, we take massive fire damage. But if it's too low, then we don't get the extra bonuses. So we would, okay, so that's a lot of rambling. So, and then also, this one's kind of interesting as well. The Ignited, you deal a critical hit, taking 15% of your life, but you get 30% more critical strike damage. Also an option. I'm sure there's going to be great combinations here. I sat around here thinking about it for a long time. If you want to play Infernalist, first of all, you could go the summon thing with the summon the Infernal Horde, and then you take the max spirit to get more summons. But I think the easier way to play Infernalist would be if you just want to play a fire build. Anything that does fire damage. Or a combo that would benefit from fire damage with like Ignited Magnitude. So the way you do that is you want Altered Flesh at some point when you're to stack max fire res, and then you want to take all three of these. The Pyro stuff, the Bringer Flame, and the Seething Body. And then all you do is you cast fire stuff and you put Ignites on, and you want to raise your, what's it called? The Infernal Flame. You want to raise that almost to max, but not at max, and just cast spells consistently like that. Keep it very high to activate these two buffs. Should be able to burn the world to the ground. Should be pretty good. A lot of ways you can go with this. Very complicated ascendancy, according to me. Going to be very interesting to see how people theory craft this. There's a big argument about which one, or excuse me, where is it? Yeah, down here. About which is better. I think a little bit the easier one to understand is Blood Mage, but I guess it's also pretty easy to understand. Stack fire res, do fire damage, do this. Going to be interesting for sure. Path of Exile. This is just the early access, man. It's only going to get more insane. So a lot of people were really, really digging the Witch Hunter. And I am struggling to see the allure of the Witch Hunter, at least early. Maybe it'll be way better later. These 20 passive skill weapon set points, when you swap weapons, you can have like different passive trees, and you could like make a completely different spec for like one weapon than the other. I have a feeling this node is going to be godly. So you can have like one weapon for mapping, you get to the boss, you switch the weapons, and then you just fry him down with something different. I have a feeling it's going to be really strong. With this little of knowledge in the game, and casuals ain't got no time to make two. They don't have enough time to make one passive tree, let alone
Yet this city remains clouded in strife. Lunaris, eternal goddess of the moon, and her sister Solaris of the sun, have risen to reclaim what was once their own. Siblings equal in strength,
Lunaris,
mighty twin rivers converging, sweeping all before them. We are cornered animals, awaiting the deluge that will surely drown us. Yet there exists a pair of ancient treasures, the sun orb and the moon. Be well.
Good to see you're still soldiering on, with all these gods in past horrors wandering around, son. Mate. Stay out of the shadows. They bite.
No more space in the flask. Can I combine some of or the like the max level? See, I think they're max level, right?
Mate. Good luck to you.
So which ones can I combine? So round one. Go there. These one. There. Should be enough.
What's up?
Need multiple.
Stay out of the shadows.
It's Tibbs. Does he show up here? No.
Another one for a different weapon set and min-max all that crap. So even though I think this node will be very, very good for the Giga Chads later, I don't think this is something we should worry about now.
Giga
So
Chads.
Culling Strike got significantly nerfed. So first of all, Culling Strike just kills enemies at a certain life threshold. 30, 20, 10, 5, depending on their rarity. But the thresholds are checked before the damage of the hit. So if I shoot this guy, a little white trash mob, for 70 damage and he has 100, it's going to check first. How much health does he have? 100. And then you shoot, and then he's down to 30. You have to shoot again. He's going to check. Oh, it's 30. He's dead. It's worse than if it checks afterward. It's going to like give you less one-shots. So that's kind of sad. And then Decimating Strike is hits against full-life enemies, remove between 5 to 30% of life. So what's that? 35 plus 5 divided by 2 is like 17.5 damage. So that's my favorite number, by the way. So this might be really good for bosses. So Decimating Strike could be good. So I'm not saying these things are bad. Certainly they're not bad. But Culling Strike got nerfed, and I don't know. It's competing with a pretty good. It's competing with another pretty good ascendancy. So this concentration thing is a little bit tough to understand. Enemies having maximum concentration equal to 40% of their max life, breaking enemy concentration on hit to 100% of damage dealt. Enemies regain 10%.
Now we've got some whip-tongued hag cooking up a stinking curse in the sewers. Took it from her mother-in-law at first. But no, based on my meager historical knowledge, I reckon we have a certain Dodry dark tongue to contend with. Where in blazes is she hiding? I've no idea. So, the only way we're going to catch this witch is by getting our hands on possibly a lot more, well and truly dirty. And by we, I mean you, of course. The sewers are no place for a simple businessman like me. Do us a favour. Head into them sewers and track that old hag.
Back to the sewers.
Don't do anything I would.
Alright. So what do we have here? All in the same spot. It's nice and easy.
Percent of concentration every second if they haven't lost concentration in the last 5 seconds. So essentially what this means is you have to do 40% of their maximum life in order to break their concentration. And then you can take No Mercy to deal 30% more damage to enemies based on their missing concentration. The problem is in order for this to work, you have to do 40% of this life and then have value, right? Well, Calling Strike takes off the bottom chunk of a monster's HP, and Decimating Strike takes off the top chunk of their HP. So if this is the monster's original HP, and we're narrowing it when we're fighting, and now we have to do 40% of that before this thing even activates, I'm struggling to understand, I guess, against major bosses, like the pinnacle bosses, this starts to have value, but it falls off a little bit. The sorcery ward seems strong, but it seems strong in the end game when you can afford to lose 50% less armor and evasion rating, and you can take this combo later. And the Zealous Inquisition is just 10% chance to kill enemies they explode, dealing 100% of their maximum life, and it's doubled against undeads and demons. If nothing else, this one's going to be fun as hell. For the fun factor, it's absolutely going to be there. It might be really, really good for mapping as well. So, with all that in mind, so we would go Pitiless into Judge and Jury. So we are going to take these two. We are going to narrow down their life pool. Then I think you take the Zealous Inquisition, and then finally you take the Witchbane. So should be pretty good. In fact, I'm wondering something though. Does Witchbane do anything on its own? So I don't know. Reading this, I don't know if Witchbane actually does anything actually happen when you break their concentration without No Mercy. I guess if that's not true, then we might have to consider either giving up Zealous Inquisition for the No Mercy so it does something, or maybe just that's something I'm gonna have to check. I actually don't know if breaking their concentration without No Mercy doesn't. Maybe someone can tell me in the chat, in the comments. Okay, anyway, let's keep going. So it's definitely cool. I think this is an ascendancy that the early access is really gonna help grinding gear games cook.
Right. Let's pick a point. I think we wanted to go more damage here. I think I have to take these. I think this is the one. Ball is pretty tough. Eva Haley, thanks for the follow. Play the video.
Some cool things for it. Gemling Legionnaire. A lot of people are looking forward to this. The Gemling Legionnaire.
No, I just play for fun. Play with a guitar every now and then, but nothing serious. Mostly heavy metal stuff. Go down here. Oh, I have to go to my town quick. I need money. Is it soft? It's on max though. I just speak a bit soft, I think. I'll try and speak louder. Okay, let's go to... So yeah, I was saying I play a bit of guitar. Mostly heavy metal. But just for fun.
Welcome
How
to
about
the
you?
Forge.
What do you play? What kind of music? I need to give some money to these guys.
Oh, hello. What have you got for me? Farewell. Yes?
Was here right now.
Be safer. We've much to discuss.
Just here.
I'll add it to our balance.
How's the mic volume now? It's okay?
Decisions must be made.
What have you got for me?
Check out these rings. Ooh, that's a nice armor. Attack speed. Attack speed is really good from what I've seen. Only has 4 stats. But is it better? Let's see.
Farewell.
200 more damage. What about on this skill? 800 more damage. What about defense? I think I lose defense. Get a bit more armor. I don't lose resistance, so this might be worth it. Can craft on it. Music, mostly heavy metal. Can play you something. Stuff like this. I don't think these are good.
Hello, hello, hello.
Rock, jazz, and blues. Man, blues, I like blues as well. Do you know Stevie Ray Vaughan?
March
Happy
with us in
hunting.
King's March.
Oh, no.
Stevie Ray Vaughan was like the best guitarist to ever live, in my opinion. So let's see if we could do something with these gloves. Go to the hideout. Legend. So sad he died so early. What do you want to add here? Wait. What will we lose if we swap this out? We lose the fire damage. We don't need accuracy rating. We get more fire resistance. What's my cold resistance on right now? Queen. Queen is pretty good, yeah. Capped, so that's good. We can lose that. Which was your favorite song from Queen? Bohemian Rhapsody or... I don't even know that many Queen songs. I mean, I know the songs, but the names? I don't really know the names. Life or... Oh, that's cool. Is it straight? Nice. Oh. There's some, yeah, there's some plenty of videos out there. Check Rax. Yeah, he's got a video. I'm watching it now on my stream. Yeah, what class and ascendancy should you play in Path of Exile 2 from Rax? Hmm. Check his video because his video is pretty cool. He's saying which ascendancies he thinks will be best for beginner players and to do the campaign. So it's a pretty cool. Right, what are we gonna add to these gloves? We can add a prefix and a suffix, right? But okay, well, let's see. Maximum life is always good, but I guess for gloves you want damage. So I think I would add the fire damage. And then we're missing lightning resistance, right? I think let's add lightning resist. Oh, I can't. I don't have these balls. How do you make these balls? Orbs of scouring. Oh, I was talking to my wife. We're gonna play together tomorrow when POE2 comes out. Orb of regret. How do you make orbs of scouring? Orbs of alteration. Orbs of transmutation. I'm on holiday right now. I was working but got laid off. I work in the visual effects movie industry. But for now I'm just streaming and playing games to take a bit of a break. I don't know how to get orbs of scouring. It's not so lucky right now. I mean, the industry is doing very badly. There's not much work. So there's been mass layoffs and everything. Hopefully next year it picks back up and I can get back to work. For now I'm eating beans out of cans to survive. This is a good jewel. I should get a jewel. Let's keep this to remind ourselves that we want a jewel. Anyway, like, I think this is as good as this is gonna get, so let's reroll. Really, what work do you do? Why do I have random amulets and shit in here? So much resist on this. Visual artist. There seems to be a lot of visual artists on Twitch these days. I need a green link for my heavy strike faster attack support. Which one rerolls the color? Reforges color of sockets on an item. This one. We got it, and now we just want to link it. And Bob's your uncle. Boom. So a small upgrade, but every bit helps. Well, let's head back to the city. Yeah, there's a lot of spam going on about doing art for channels and stuff.
What's up?
I'm a bit of an artist myself. Alright, so where's... Oh, did I lose my portal? I thought the portals were like... Or is it... Yeah, I thought the portals were staying. Shit. Damn, I have to run there again. Not too far. Oh yeah, the map's reset. That's why the portal disappeared. God damn. Well, that's good. I wish you the best of luck with your art. Hope you succeed. Art is a very difficult industry. That's why I work in movies, because it's one of the few art jobs that actually pay money. So if you're creative, and when the industry comes back next year, hopefully, I would suggest looking into it. Anyway. Oh. Dude. How about this? I will offer to give you a free, I'll offer to give you a critique on your art if you donate to the channel. How about that? Alright, I'm back to where I started. No, I'm not gonna participate in that, unfortunately. But good luck, though. I'm sure it's great. Shit. As like I said, every day I get someone like you who says the exact same thing. It's like a script, you know what I mean? So like I'm not gonna play along. Like I'm not adding you on Discord, but yeah, thanks for dropping by and yeah. Where is this fucking blob? Oh, I think I've talked to you before, no? Ah! You guys always have like two people's names combined together as well. It's like a perfect like cookie cutter thing, right? Wait, is this the door I came in? I think that's where I came in. I have to speak to this guy here. Oh, there's just... no, it's not here. Got it. Let's do this thing. So... there's one here. How far does it go? Two... 3... 4... Oh, then I'm missing that one. Oh. Let's start them here. Can I get all three? Get these two. Then these
Risky
two.
choice.
Then I'm not supposed to blow up this thing, right? Shit.
That should make things interesting. Scratching up some treasure chests.
And does this go all the way up here? Oh shit.
After a bit of ancient treasure, eh?
But blown up. What Christmas lights? What are you talking about? Orthus. Who are you again? I know you, right? Are you TNT? Yeah, the TNT killed me. I died again. I'm act... where am I? Act 8. I think there's 10 acts. So... not far from the end. This guy is so strong, I don't know what buffs he has. Jesus. Extra damage to injured foes. Ah, okay. Oh, that could be good. Yeah. I'll try my best. trying to kill this boss. Have you finished the campaign? Oh, that was probably a mistake. Ah!
I cannot carry this.
Oh.
I cannot do this yet.
Monk? I wanted to play Monk. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna play the Witch. Blood Witch, probably. It's between the Blood Witch and the Fire one, because like both look so good. Oh, speaking of witches, what the hell is this thing? Ah, it's scary. Yeah, it's like a boss. But I'm killing it, so I'm happy. Freaking ugly though. Easy. Ooh, I got a mole. This could be good. Oh! Physical and fire damage, increase attack speed. I think this is definitely gonna be good. Oh, it's a good upgrade. Boom. Now I just need to craft on it to make it even more godly. Almost 15,000 damage on this ability with this one. Bye. This could be interesting. Wait, there was someone there. Sin.
Once more into the breach, and once more we return victorious. Although I have to admit, I did not once more into the breach.
Once more into the breach.
That's impressive.
The Grand Promenade. I did not look at my health. Shit. Run, run, run.
There are no more worthy beasts nearby. So, Rainer will go feed the ones we caught.
Not need any of that. Let's see what this has to offer. Not better.
I cannot carry this.
I have to go to the city.
You'd suppose someone... Tell me something. Any chance you...
Actually not bad. Intelligence though. Max life. Let's see our defenses when we add it. For $100. Not worth it.
You're right. Good luck to you. You're looking sharp. Don't do anything I would.
We convert this to a rare. Magic to rare. Am I supposed to add mods first?
Hello. Bring me back something.
These owl eyes of mine, I've been keeping... There is nothing else.
Exile. Bye. Hello.
Well, let's watch the rest of the video.
Legionnaire seems like the old trusty, you know, the old trusty little lawnmower you've got in the shed. You want to know what? It does a pretty damn good job. There's a new lawnmower out there, but you want to know what? I just want my old piece of shit because it's like the Toyota Camry, right? It's just got very, very simple things that just buff your character in a very generic way. 10 quality doll skills. Quality in this game just essentially just makes the gem better, for lack of a better word. Every gem is a little bit different on what quality does for it, but quality, good. +1 to the level of all skills, just buffing it up. 30% skills are 30% cheaper, but they cost more attributes. 3 more skill slots. I think you start with 9 by default. Now you have 12. I don't think this is probably going to be really good for like the gods of PoE2 later on. But I think for new players, I think 9 skills is enough to manage, right? I don't think we really need this starting off the game. You can have 2 copies of the same support gem and different skills. That's cool. This seems extremely good in the endgame. So you get 1% maximum resistance per whatever sockets that you want. So there's a difference between resistance and max resistance. Resistance, you build it up to whatever the cap is, 75, 70, whatever. And then maximum resistance increases that 75 to 76, 77, 78, with the highest cap available in the game of 90. Let's say you're going to fight the pinnacle boss that does fire damage. You want to know what you do? You just throw a million red support gems in your gear. You don't even have to use them. It doesn't matter. Put a stupid skill and just put 4 red support, as many red support gems as you can. And guess what? You might be able to have like 90% maximum fire res. You don't even have to path to it in the tree. You just changed your gear for each boss. It's very, very flexible. This is that old lawnmower in the shed that just won't die. It's not pretty, it's not flashy, but boy, does it get the job done. So if you're not really sure what to do, this is such a nice choice to like not have too much anxiety. Because pretty much whatever you're doing, this seems like a very strong choice just for kind of buffing anything. And these final 2 choices are nice too. Attribute requirements of gems can be satisfied by your highest attribute. You just stack one thing, whatever you care about, and there you go. And then you can also get the inherent bonuses to be doubled. That's very nice as well. You might have some synergy up here. So this is that old lawnmower. You can't go wrong with the Gemling Legionnaire. It can't be the wrong choice. Seems very, very good. And so we're going to take those 2 buffs. We're going to take the quality and the 1 to all skills. And then it'll kind of depend on what you need here. But the adaptive capability and the enhanced effectiveness will be really good for the campaign. But certainly at some point, when the game gets difficult enough, you're going to have to pick number 6, if nothing else, for the pinnacle bosses. You've always got this in your back pocket. If you're only going to make 1 character, this might be an excellent choice. So that's why I think Gemling Legionnaire is better than the Witch Hunter, because, yeah, for some of the things I mentioned before, I think this is just too rock solid. It's hard to find a chink in the armor. All right. Okay, one more. The Invoker. Okay. If there is one thing that I have learned in Path of Exile, I've only played 1,000 hours of PoE1, so I'm considered a beginner. But if there's one thing that I've learned, I played Hardcore, I played SSF, I played the Gauntlets. Physical damage reduction is like the best stat in the game. Anything that gives you physical damage reduction, you want it. Always. Evasion rating gives you physical damage reduction. You lose 40% of your evasion rating. Oh, okay, I mean, that's all I needed to hear. You stack evasion rating to the moon, and then you go pick this up. That's like this defensive layer is, if you're gonna go this ascendancy, I think it's impossible to not do this, because physical damage reduction is like goated in Path of Exile. At least Path of Exile 1. This is like the greatest thing ever. So you might not need this at the start, and in order to take this, you have to take this, which says you need energy shield and evasion rating on your body armor for spirit. Spirit is what gives you your auras and your trigger gems and stuff. Cannot gain spirit from equipment. So you might think, oh, this is the greatest thing ever, go 1 and 2. That might be a terrible decision for a new player, because you will lose the spirit from your first choice. And unless you're specifically paying attention to get exactly this body armor, you might actually screw yourself over. So we're going to take this, but I think a new player, so you don't mess it up, you should probably take it later. And then there's a really cool option you can do. You can either pick I am the Blizzard or I am the Thump, whether you want to go cold or lightning, get extra damage as cold or lightning, and then you're going to either freeze or shock. Freeze, you know, freeze does, shock makes them take more damage. And then you choose one of these, and then you move to an Ice Shell Rage. You get Unbound Fury by inflicting the ailments up here. If you have maximum Unbound Fury, you can consume it to become unbound, vastly augmenting your elemental prowess. I ain't got no idea what that does, but that sounds way too cool to not take it. So, alright, this actually becomes very simple. What we do here on, where is it? The Invoker, is you make a decision. You either want the extra cold or the extra lightning, whatever. Pick one or the other. And then we're going to take that super buff and see what happens. And then you got to go for the physical damage reduction going into the end game. And that's it. Really, really nice choice if you want to do something with cold or lightning. Seems like it's going to be big good. And then the final one, I like to call this Cholula hot sauce. You guys know what I'm talking about? Someone got a really common hot sauce in the United States on every Mexican restaurant's table. I'm never going to not think of that when I see this. This seems to do a lot of chaos stuff. This is. Have you ever played Pac-Man? If you like Pac-Man, play this. This is Pac-Man. So you're into the breach, and you create a breach, and you see nearby flames of Cholula hot sauce, and then you're in a breach, collecting them.
Cholula
You get
hot
red, you get
sauce.
7%. You lead 7% of your maximum life. Blue leads 7% of your mana, and purple gives you a stacking buff with 7% chaos damage, and it stacks up to 10 times, and then you can double it Jay Wilson style. So
Hey, Wilson.
you open the breach,
This guy
you
will
go
never
pick up
live
all
it
the little
up.
colors, and you play Pac-Man,
Poor
and you
Jay.
go gobble them all up. Now, my initial reaction here is this sounds terrible for
Poor
a couple of reasons.
Jay.
One, I don't want to run where these flames spawn. I want to run where I want to run. And so I'm assuming they're spawn everywhere, and you have to go find them. Can you imagine fighting a very difficult boss in the endgame, and you want to start stacking the purple flames? Sorry, I'm losing my voice. You want to start stacking the purple flames to do your chaos damage, and the purple flames are just spawning in all of the wrong areas where the boss is doing like their big mega attacks, and you can't go get them. So you got to be Pac-Man and run around and gobble them all up. Now, if you have a build that's very mobile, that's very easy to move around, and picking up this stuff is not an issue at all. Rax, you're a piece of shit. This is way easier than it sounds. It might be. I have no idea. I've never played Path of Exile 2. But my initial thought reading it is you're spawning flames all over the map, and I have to go play Pac-Man to pick them up, to get my buffs, to do my damage, to then go pick up my loot. I'm going to have to see it to believe it kind of thing where it's going to be really good. Doesn't seem like this stuff is insanely strong. Reading through it, I could be wrong. When I read this, I thought a Mana Leech and their Energy Shield would actually be pretty good. In discussing it with other people, they don't think it's going to be very good. So it just shows you how much I know. But I don't know. Maybe it will be good. I have no idea. So yeah, when you compare this to the other option for the Monk, it seems like the Invoker is the choice here. But we're going to take Waking Dream into Lucid Dreaming. We're going to play Pac-Man. We're playing Pac-Man, we're playing Pac-Man. And then we're going to go into Reality Rending to get the additional chaos damage, and then we're finally going to pick up Cholula Hot Sauce. Chaos resistance is usually not good in the campaign, at least in POE1. I mean, it's not like it's not good. If you get it, it's great. But there isn't that much chaos damage in the campaign. If POE2 is like this, we're going to need this for the endgame, not for the campaign. That's why we take it at the end. And of course, if you actually end up needing mana, you're running out of mana, you take that instead. Okay, well, so the number one rule to remember is I've never played Path of
any
Exile
reason to
ever,
assume
not
that
even
the
for 1
chaos
second. No, I
damage
don't
thing will be
actually
the same in POE2.
I would like to say that my effort was high. I did spend a lot of time researching this, studying this, talking with people, trying to understand, to make you this outline, to try to recommend a way to start the game. But really, I could be wrong on absolutely everything. So this is a for fun video. I hope it got your ears turning a bit. There is really nothing solved in PoE at all. We're all going to experience it for the first time on Friday. This is just hopefully going to help you get started. I guess this video will come out Thursday morning. Remember that free download for non-Steam users starts at 5 p.m. Pacific, I believe, off of the PoE site. And tomorrow I'm going to have to narrow down what I'm going to play. When I have narrowed it down, I will make a video Friday morning, and I'll tell you exactly what I want to do. If you want to follow me and play the same build, you can. I will play all 12. I'm going to make all 12, so don't worry. I'll play everything. I want to understand this game. I want to be a grandmaster of this game. I want to be a student of the game. And I'm really looking forward to it, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Really excited. Let me know what looked good to you. Let me know if I was wrong about anything. If I'm already wrong about something, go ahead and tell me in the comments. I'm not too proud to admit it. Thank you so much, guys, and I can't wait to make a lot of content for you. Remember that my content is going to primarily focus on new players. I want you to get into the game and have fun. That's my main focus for now for a while. Thank you.
Thanks, Rax. What the hell is this thing? Like making clones of himself. Like the liquid metal Terminator alien mixed. I think my support not working on this. Or it's like, what's that, the void? Ah, the abyss. Oh my god.
Hugel!
In death, the mirrors are thus shattered. Hugel was a cautionary tale.
Does Yu-Gi-Oh give you and your minion? Oh. I still need to get the sun orb. Come on. I'm dying way too often. I need to get some DR. It's because my resistances are not capped. I'm not in the temple. How do I get to the temple?
Greetings. Ah. Stay in the light, exile. This'll do nicely, exile.
So it's maybe it's not connected to this area. No, it's not.
You would be wrong to do that here.
So it was that bloody... You found them! bring me back something nice, huh?
It would be wrong to do that here. It would be wrong to do that here.
How you going? Good luck to you.
At those titties. Kick it, baby. It's just these explosive boys in the middle of portal area. Yay, I got to the temple. Bubbles really slow me down. Ah, run, 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 run. You cannot run from me. Oh, shame. Where's the guy at? He's back? We should keep them in, yeah. Oh. Cute kitties are cute. Sorry. Get this moon temple thingy. No, it's a dead end. Way down here.